Buffs Nation, another day, another dub. The Buffs pulled it out there in Orlando at the Bounce House. Took down UCF. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little shocked. I figured that Colorado had a way of beating them. I knew there was a path there. But being a 14-point dog on the road just felt weird. It just felt like it was a trap. Like it was like, no, you need to take Colorado on this. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. But hey, the Buffs did it. I'm not going to lie. I am surprised because if you watched any of my previews for the season, this was the game that I thought that Colorado may drop, but then bounce back throughout the rest of the season. This was the first loss of the season, not Nebraska. This was the first loss for me. But hey, a dub's a dub, especially on the road against a team that honestly has the second best odds to win the conference. You can't beat that. So the Buffs man moved up. Let's dive into that. And I also want to talk about some hateration and holleration. Yeah, if you know the person that says that a lot, it's from him, former ESPN employee. We're going to talk about his hating words and how he had to kind of eat it because, freezing takes called his butt out. Let's do that here on the Prime Time of College Football. This video is presented by our partners over there at BetUS. Make sure you check them out. They're powering this video. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. They are taking care of the gamer. Make sure you check them out. All right. So Colorado went out here, got that dub, finished it up 48-21. And to be honest, the game was never really that close, right? Started the game off with silly interception. I don't know what the heck Sheduer was thinking, but hey, it happens. But the beauty of it is turning right back around and getting one there. Preston Hodge, shout out to him, getting that pick, getting the game going. And then from there, the Buffs did what I told y'all they would need to do in order to get going. The first drive, not so much. That was a lot of passing by Sheduer. I mean, you got a little bit of running. Dalen Hayden made his valiant return, which I'm glad to see he's back on the field. I think he could be your bell cow. But the Buffs are doing it by committee. 11 carries for Hayden, 4 carries for Augusta, 5 carries for Michael Welch. Charlie Offerdahl had his 3. You start to see a lot of it's a running back by committee. Like I would like to see a bell cow where you can have some consistency, but at the same time, getting young Michael Welch some run is a good thing, and it's probably going to keep you a lot healthier as the season goes on. But I digress. That to me was the game that the Buffs needed to prove themselves to all the haters. This was the game where they could show and show out, right? I was watching College Game Day and you saw that Nick Saban, he picked UCF and thought they were going to run all over him. Honestly, that was my entire assessment. The defense does a great job, especially in the second half. They did it again. We'll talk about that in a minute. But UCF does a really good job of controlling the time of possession. This game, it was 30-29, right? Colorado did a really good job of keeping that going, right? Just over 30 to just over 29 minutes. They didn't allow that. And because of that defense stepping up, you got a different animal. So the haters all say it. And it's funny because Nick Saban picked UCF. Miss Terry was also a guest picker and looked at him and said, "You're going to pick against our close friend, Deion? Don't worry, Deion. I got you." And she picked the Buffs to win. Sure enough, she finished the day 5-2 while Nick Saban was like, 4-3? Or 3-4? Yeah. Hey, Miss Terry was cooking. So she picked the Buffs, and they shut out in the game. They proved it. And, of course, Travis Hunter does what he does best. Goodness, the Heisman poll was dope. Let's talk about that. But first, word from the sponsor. I want y'all to hear what this former ESPN employee had to say about the Buffs. This video is powered by our partners over at BetUS. They are taking care of the gamer. They're hooking you up 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. If you use our promo code YouTube150, you'll also get $125 on your second and your third. And so, like, for example, we are in NFL season, baby. So you can look at these evening games. You can jump on Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, and heck, you can also look at taking Colorado against Kansas State. Because Colorado covered that plus 14 against UCF on the road. The odds makers are really thinking about things before they throw out that Kansas State line. So expecting midweek, you'll probably see it. If not next, keep your eyes out. But the good thing is, if you want to get into action now, you can start looking at some NFL stuff today. Or you can start looking at the NBA. They've got all sports taking care of you, 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. They're also giving you 125% on your second and third using the promo code YouTube150. So check them out. That lets them know that I sent you. BetUS, where the game begins. All right, look, I'm a big fan of Bomani Jones, but I thought this was funny with the subtle shade and hate thrown at the Buffs and Deion from him in his latest video. He had Van Lathan on Wednesday, and I was like, man, I'm gonna make a video. You know what? I'm gonna wait. Let's get this dub first, and then I'm gonna make this video about it because it makes more sense. Listen to what Bomani had to say.
Do people still care about what's going on down there with Colorado and Deion? I can't tell. I haven't seen the TV numbers. It doesn't feel the same, but I think you're a little more connected with the people that was on it when it first got popping.
The people that last year decided that they cared about Deion, those people still seem to care. Because if you have conversations and criticisms around Colorado's program that are anything less than glowing, those are the people that you still hear from.
This is where I give Colorado credit this year. They got destroyed by Nebraska. That was full on embarrassing. And it's one thing for them to lose games like that in year one. It's another thing for them to lose that in year two. And you have a guy that people think might be the best quarterback in America. You got a dude that people think is the best player in America. But to get smoked like that was all bad. But I gave them credit because they got back up. They came back after a loss against an opponent that you know was locked in to beat them, and they handled business. I also don't know if they're going to win another game this year. I really don't, because they're not good.
I don't know if they're going to win another game. They probably shouldn't have won the game that they just won. The next 3 weeks are going to really be crucial into judging how the program at Colorado will fare in the future.
You heard that first? He said that he didn't think Colorado's going to win another game. Now, if you watch my previews, my last one I did with Oklahoma State, I have the Buffs at 9-3. That's who I have. I had the losses to UCF. I had a loss to Utah. Had a loss to possibly Oklahoma State. Well, that's looking different, and it looks like the Buffs have actually a really good chance of winning the conference because the competition is not playing very well, right? We just saw Utah lose to Arizona. Kansas State, they got blasted by BYU. I'm guessing BYU's really good. I don't know. But in a lot of these games, man, there's a good chance that the Buffs could go ahead and take these dubs. Kansas is going to be interesting at the crib in 2 weeks. Good thing there's a bye week this week. Kansas State's going to be really very, very, very interesting. But again, that's the hate. And Friesen Takes on the X-Bird called him out, immediately retweeted that video because a lot of people really believe that the Baylor win was a fluke, in which I'll give to Van Lathan. He said that in the video portion of I didn't play, that's college football, baby. You get some games, you just get out and you get a dub, regardless of it's against certain teams. You just get the dub. Baylor's not a very good team right now, but sometimes they come in and fight. We've seen teams that aren't very good, Kentucky, Ole Miss, come in and get a W, right? Against teams that they're not supposed to beat. That's just the game. That's the beauty of college football, and that's why we appreciate it. But I digress. Don't want to get too far into the hating, but I want y'all to hear that because it's wild to me that people really thought that Colorado was not going to win any more games this season. Like they thought that the Baylor win was just, it's, super fluke. There's no chance they win any more games. Stupid. But anyway, let's talk about Travis Hunter. Is Travis Hunter the Heisman Trophy winner? Y'all tell me. Y'all think he's going to lead for the Heisman? Because I'm going to keep it a buck. There's absolutely no reason, no excuse for him not to, right? Finished this bad boy, 9 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown. That touchdown catch he got on that post, man, that was chemistry from a quarterback and his wide receiver. That's chemistry. Then he read the play and got the pick. Look, being that good of a two-way player, stupid. And the only thing I could say I can agree with Bo and them on is the questions are going to be about Colorado. What does Prime do after Sheduer is gone, after Travis is gone? Because you got two of the best players in the country, right? And that gives you a leg up against the competition. Hence why Colorado went out here and won 48-21. But on the same token, they're building something special on the defensive side, right? Even with just all transfer portal players, they're building a chemistry and a culture that's allowing for them to win games that you don't think they would win. Perfect example. Like I talked about Rob Livingston and his defense. The best part I like about him is that the second half, they always lock in. Once again, Colorado gave up 1 touchdown in the second half, scored 3. Right? We're now 5 games in the season, and this has been the consistent trend. 1 or no scores in the second half of a game. That's what it is. The adjustments are absurd, and that is what you want out of your team. You want your team to be able to adjust against the competition, especially when you got an offense like this that you know is going to put up points. The good thing is the offense is going to find a way to score, right? The Nebraska game was an unfortunate one, but since then, the offense is finding ways to score while the defense locks in. Again, that, to me, that's huge, especially here in the Big 12 against all these quarterbacks. That's massive. And this defense, not only get a fumble recovery for a touchdown, right? 95-yard rumble. Can't beat that. You also see interceptions, knockdown passes. You see stuffed on the run, stopped on downs. All the stuff that you need out of your team to win in big games, they're doing it. Like, tell them, come on, try us on downs. Try us on 4th and goal on the 4-yard line and see what you got. Boom, you get a sack, right? That, to me, is amazing adjustments. And as much as I want to praise what Sheduer does and what Prime and what Pat Shermer's doing with him on offense, you got to give Robert Livingston his flowers as well because the defense is showing out. Now they got Kansas State. Avery Johnson is pretty good. He's very mobile, but he's also proven in that game against BYU that you can bottle that boy up. And if you bottle him up properly, guess what's going to happen? You're going to beat him, right? All you got to do, but this is also the return game. We'll talk about it a lot more over the next 2 weeks, but we got to keep our eyes on that. Tell me what y'all think. How'd y'all feel about this game? Hop in the comments. Y'all enjoy going over to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and the Bounce House and taking them out? Shout out to the Buffs on that one. That's a really big game. All right. This video is powered by our partners over at BetUS. Check them out. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 with YouTube exclusive. Use the code YouTube150. We're out. We got some more videos coming down the line. We'll talk a little bit more about both sides of the ball. Like I said, the excitement I have on defense, you got to be excited about that. I know Bucs fans, I know y'all losing your minds. Please do. I love defenses, and that gets me going. So, all right, drop some more. We'll talk soon.